What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Seal, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fan-fucking-tastic. The Steelers lost.
Yes,
So you
sir.
know what
Let's
that
raise a
means.
toast to the 72 Dolphins.
Heyo!
Heyo, 72 Dolphins.
Shout out Shula.
I saw Larry Zonka already drinking on
It was
his
awesome.
Instagram.
Before the game was even over, it was great. There was like 12 seconds left. Shout out Zonka. They thought they were going to catch a Shula sleeping, if you know what I mean. That was bad. But yeah, I'm excited. Not only that, the Dolphins are the only undefeated team because I don't care about the Dolphins, but it's cool, woohoo, because the Steelers didn't do it. And not only that, shout out to Alex Smith, man, the GOAT.
Whew.
The one-legged
comeback
goat.
player of the year matchup, and we're not even supposed to start with football, but whatever. The comeback player of the year was either Ben Roethlisberger or Alex Smith, and it probably still is, but they got to go up against each other, and Alex Smith pulled out the win, which is awesome. One thing, and I know we don't like shouting out Pittsburgh a lot on this podcast, but I do want to give Eddie some love because he'd be mad if I didn't do it. But they did record a sack in their 69th straight game today.
Oh, no.
And I believe that ties
you, right?
us. So I don't know who they play next, but I believe that ties the Buccaneers with John Lynch and Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks and all those guys. So that's a little upsetting, but whatever. Hey, shout out to TJ Watt. He's a beast. And it's pretty much all him.
Oh, yeah. But he's amazing. I'm going to shout out Matthew Wright.
Yeah. UCF.
Nice. Yeah. But dude's a twig, but he twig with a boot.
Yeah.
He's made his one and only field goal. That was pretty cool to see.
And we'll talk about the game a little bit later, but Big Ben didn't quite get him into field goal range, I would say, on like the first play of the last drive. But anyways, before we talk about the NFL, because that's kind of going to be our big stump, you guys are probably wondering why I'm wearing Dodgers clothes. We're not going to be talking about baseball. There is some baseball to talk about if we really wanted to. It's the all MLB teams, but we'll talk about that next week because they're not officially finalized yet. But I got my shirt in finally, and I wanted to wear it. So
I am so pissed off.
That's really the only reason why I'm done.
The championship swag that the Dodgers are getting is, bar none, some of the cleanest championship gear I've seen. And yeah, it's all like LA, New York always gets.
I've said it before, but I wish I was a Lakers fan because those duo World Series and NBA championship combined swag is amazing. But I like how they do our like LA and then Curse at the end. It's really cool.
Dude, yeah, no, that hat is fairly clean, but the Lakers. But yeah, dude, I love that shirt. It was the long sleeve of that shirt is what I sent you, right? With all the signatures and stuff.
Yeah, I believe so.
Dude, that thing is so awesome.
So yeah, on the back, I'm not going to show you guys, but it has the trophy with all of our signatures handwritten on the back.
It's just a piece of metal, dude.
Just a hunk of metal. But fuck Rob Manfred, we're the champs, and that's what it's about. But we're not here to talk about baseball. We really don't care because it's the off season. But what's about to not be the off season anymore is basketball. We are actually going to have basketball to talk about next week because the Suns will be playing on Saturday. Is that preseason? When does the season actually start? Is that the real season?
Season starts on the 22nd, I believe.
All right. Because it just showed on ESPN that we have a game on Saturday against Utah. And I was like, hell yeah, we got a game, baby. But I didn't know if it was preseason or not. But we'll be able to talk about the games of basketball. But before that, this week, we can talk about the players of basketball. We already talked about all the trades, the huge trades that have happened. There haven't been any real big trades yet. But the trade that we said we're going to keep tabs on is the James Harden trade. We expect James Harden to be traded at some point. Houston's holding out on him. They say we're not going to trade him. So, of course, James Harden decides, well, you know what? I'm going to hold out on you guys then. He doesn't show up to practice. And I don't know if it was voluntary, mandatory, or whatever, but the coach came out and the coach said, yeah, he's clearly holding out on us. It sucks. We want our best team here for practice, and all I can do is coach the boys that are here. What do you think about James Harden holding out, using this tactic that people have been using here in recent years to try to get out of here and really try to get to Brooklyn?
I'll never understand it. I understand it more so in the NFL than I do in the NBA. Yeah, the contracts are starting to get up there in NFL now with a lot of these players that do sit out. But for the most part, the players in the NFL that sit out, they are looking for money that they deserve, right? They're looking for a paycheck that they feel like they've earned. He's not even looking for that. He has what he feels like he's earned. He just doesn't want to be there. That is that. So I will never respect that. Yeah. You are being a baby, the AD bullshit. You're being an absolute just a child right now. And dude, you're cashing checks that are
now. Is he cashing checks? Because when the NFL players hold out, they don't cash checks. They're not getting paid.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not getting paid like for right now, but he has millions and like he's good. He's very comfortable.
Sure. Absolutely.
So that for the fact that he's doing that, it shows no respect to the game whatsoever. And see the other 200, not even 200. What? Let's say 15 times 30. Yeah.
It's like 110, 115 people, I think.
Yeah. So it's just disrespecting them, just smacking them in the face that are showing up to do their job to get better. And you're just sitting around and smacking the face of all these players that are there and they're missing their best guy. And it's obviously the trade isn't going to happen anytime soon. So you might as well be out there and show that you care about the game of basketball and you respect it enough to be there.
Well, two people that probably don't care because as soon as the trade happened, they probably knew that James Harden was going to be gone. And that's John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. These boys are back. They're in Houston. Yeah. They were in Kentucky together. They're injury-prone players. Both players, though, are all-stars when they are set. And they probably expected James Harden to be gone. If these two guys, and we don't really like Harden, but I think a lot of the reason we don't like the Rockets, but I think a lot of the reason we don't like the Rockets is because of Harden. If they get a lot of great pieces, if they do make the Brooklyn trade, which we're all thinking is going to happen because the Philly trade is just a little bit too crazy. So we're going to assume they get a lot of pieces from Brooklyn. Can a healthy John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins match up with these pieces to bounce the Rockets and keep them in playoff hunt? Or are they one of the teams that are going to drop in the West, you think?
Yeah, they're probably going to drop unless they're able to figure it out quick. But if you look at the Lakers, they didn't really look hot, and then all of a sudden they went on a tear. 3 weeks into the season? So if they were able to figure it out and gel like that under a new system and new players and completely a whole new team for the most part, starting lineup, I think PJ is going to be the only one.
Yeah.
Around that's starting, but yeah, completely different, new coach, new players. So yeah, they have the talent for sure. DeMarcus has gotten a lot of rest. So hopefully he's back. He never will be 100% of what he used to be before his Achilles. But yeah, he will definitely be able to give 25 pure great minutes. And after that, who knows? But they have a bench. That's something the Rockets have had. And they have players that are able to score. It's just not a noticed thing in the last couple of seasons because James Harden's putting up 40 shots to get 50 points.
Well, and they got a center now, which is amazing. That's what they gave away with Capella. Do you think that the chemistry from college will last? These guys are what, in year 9, 10, 11, somewhere around there?
It's been 10 years since they played together.
So do you think that chemistry lasts, or do you still see it as kind of a new team that they have to figure it out?
It's still a new team. I mean, they have that experience. I'm sure if me and you went to play basketball right now, our brain would bring up some old tendencies and we'd pick it back up. I know my buddy AJ that we used to just kill kids on the court 2-on-2. I'd still know what he would prefer and stuff like that. And I haven't balled with him since 2012, I feel like. So it's there. 2 weeks in practice, I feel like them two guys are going to be the leaders of the team and trying to rally around, and PJ is going to be like, this is my team. And then Marcus is going to come up and chest bump him and be like, bro, this is my team. Get your 6'7" center ass out of the way.
Yeah, right. Go shoot corner threes from power forward because you can do the same exact thing. So, by the way, like earlier this week, I don't remember the day, but it was within this week, my Facebook memories came up of your stupid holding the basketball out with
bro. Yes, dude.
I almost commented on you and said, we still haven't been signed, dog. What's up?
That was a great photo shoot we did.
It was. our stupid asses decided to do a photo shoot for colleges because we were sending our shit in whether we played or not. But we did stupid stuff where I was like, let's check out my shooting form. So I like took a picture like shooting a basketball that was fake is all get out. Seal palmed a basketball. Seal did this thing where he like rolled the ball around his.
I used to love doing that thing.
We just did a lot of stupid stuff like that. And we were both wearing just like the white tank tops and just basketball shorts. It was so stupid. But no, you were wearing your Penal shirt.
I was wearing my baseball shirt. Yeah, my favorite picture was the last one. I'm gonna try to find it if I can.
Mine's the jump shot for sure. I mean, my jump shot was clean. And I should have just sent that one picture to everybody.
Yeah, I have it in an album under Ballin'.
Nice.
We did this April 25th, 2009. Is when I updated it April 25th, 2009. This one. This was my favorite one. We were going to run 1-2 on somebody's squad somewhere. Somewhere. We was ready.
Oh my gosh. We were ridiculous. But no, that jump shot of mine, I should send that in right now to like D2 colleges because you don't have eligibility problems with D2. I just sent that one jump shot in. They're like, do you still have that jump shot? No, I don't. That was like 15 years ago. Sorry.
I have my jump shot's way better than it used to be.
My form was great. I mean, I can't hit a shot for nothing now, but the form in that picture at least, but that was of course trying to make sure I had the right form. But I used to hit some shots, at least on that Grace rim. I could hit
that
shit.
Grace one was beautiful.
But anyways, this podcast isn't about us. It's about real sports and the dudes that actually play the sports. And let's talk about another basketball player that wants to actually be on the team that has him. And that's Stephen Curry. He came out today and he said they are in works for an extension. He wants to retire as a Warrior. The Kobe style, the Dirk style. These guys are very rare now that want to play the entire career with one team. So what do you think about Curry coming out and saying, listen, I don't care what team's around me. I don't care what's going on. I want to retire a Warrior. I want this extension to be done.
I love it. Steph's a great guy. I don't like him solely because of the Warriors. So I'm going to talk about his father, Dell. Dell's a hell of a man.
And Seth, the best three-point shooter in the world.
Yeah, over 47% from three?
He's ridiculous.
It's fucking insane. But did not know that. Did not think that was able to happen from Seth. But yeah, that was great. But I want to talk about Dell. Whenever Stefan went into the Nike meeting, his dad Dell was with him, and they called him Steven. They mispronounced his name. They said something about where he went to, like they didn't understand where he went to college and all this stuff. And his dad was like, hey, listen, they're not for you, man. They didn't do enough. They don't know you. They're not personable. So I feel like Dell instilled a lot of respect factors when it comes to his kids. And you want to respect the organization that took a chance on you and drafted you. You were able to get them rings. They were able to get you people to get you even more rings. And don't disrespect them and go to another team just for a better paycheck. So I figured that would happen.
He's not going to get a better paycheck anyway. I mean, they're going to give him everything he can have.
Now that Steph's staying, do you think that'll keep Clay there, barring a trade? I feel like Clay could get traded coming down the road here, maybe next year, the year after that, once they're really trying to get back into the piece. Because Steph, at that point in time, Steph's only going to have 4 good years left.
Draymond, I think, could get traded. Clay, what do you think Clay's value is right now, though? He's been hurt now for 2.5 years. If they were going to offer a trade to him, what could he realistically get?
Russ was able to pull in John Wall, who's been hurt as well the last couple of years, and a first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So
Clay could definitely get probably 2 first-rounders. Easily. And then a potential good player. So, I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know what kind of player Steph would want to play with. I think he loves playing with Clay, and I think Clay respects the game as well. Of course, he is also a son of a basketball player. And I think he was taught up in the same way where it's just like, take care of your business. He has had chances to leave on a max contract, and he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, the Warriors have had a chance to win the championship every single year that he has said no. So if there's a time where maybe Draymond, I think Draymond could get traded legitimately. If Wiseman shows up and he's like legit, I think Draymond could get traded and he's relatively high value. before he just dips on him. But then at that point, if it looks like they're kind of middle, then maybe Clay could leave. But
can you hear me?
Yeah, but if they're gonna win, I can.
I didn't hear you for a minute. Your audio went out. Hopefully that's just my internet.
I hope so too. It said internet connection's unstable, but it seems to be back now. So hopefully you guys can hear everything. But anyways, James Wiseman, if he turns out to be good, I think that Draymond could get traded and get sent off because he's just not the same guy that he was when they were winning championships. And if he's gone, then Clay needs to stay and they would have those 2 max contracts is kind of where I'm going. Like he could still get paid big.
Yeah. And last year, Draymond was able to show that he can be the leader. He does know the X and the O's of basketball. Absolutely. And he can shut his mouth. He didn't really need to say anything. He just defended his teammates and respected the well-being of his teammates and their recoveries and all that stuff, and just went on the court and did his thing and ran points.
But do you think he wants to be a max guy? Like if Steph's getting obviously the max extension and they're going to lean towards Clay over Dre, do you think that Draymond would be fine with going somewhere else and getting a max contract, like one of the weaker teams?
Dre, I don't see anybody giving Dre a max contract.
Not even like a Pistons or somebody that's like.
Last year was his chance to prove that he could be that guy. He could be that center. Draymond isn't a centerpiece for a team. He's an extra piece. He's something the Blazers would want to have on their team to start.
So he's going to be more like Rodney Covington or whatever than a max guy. All right. And that's not bad. But
no, that was a good comparison right there.
Or Robert Covington, whatever the hell that guy's name is.
But yeah, I don't see Draymond being a max guy, and I don't think he believes he is anymore. I know 3-4 years ago he definitely thought he was that guy.
Right.
But he hasn't came out and shown it at all.
Yeah, no, but to go all the way back to the beginning, I agree with you. I love it, Steph. Like, that's amazing. He's been that type of guy, just like you alluded to. You don't go to Davidson. You don't do this little tiny thing and not grow some sort of heart and dedication to what you believe in. So he bleeds Davidson. He bleeds Golden State. He is that guy. And when we get to the shout outs, we'll talk about somebody else that bleeds black and gold, but I don't want to get to it just yet. Sad moment. Tears will fall, but that's coming up in 30 or so minutes. But anyways,
I bleed red. I thought you were talking about me.
Not you. The last basketball thing that I want to talk about is the guy we hate talking about, and that's LeBron James. He signed 2 years. He did it. That's fine. We're just talking facts on this podcast. But then today, everybody was speculating that, hey, 2 years is the time that his son graduates high school. And then today he came out and he said, the best thing about my contract is that I can look at the future with my son. Now, he didn't say about playing with my son. He didn't say anything like that. He just said, I can look to the future with my son. Do you think he still wants to play with this guy, or do you think he wants to retire and hand it off to Bronny to go do his thing? Or right now, just so you know, disclaimer, Bronny is not good enough right now, but he still has 2 more years. He might get there, but right now he's not. I don't even think he's top 100 rated in the FHS or whatever the hell they are, high school basketball thing. And he got schooled by that number 1 draft pick guy last year. I don't know if you guys got to see that. He plays out here, so I get to see it all the time. But they were like, Bronny's going up against the number 1 recruit in the country, and he got schooled. That dude had like 55 points on him. They went to town, but do you think he's going to try to play with his son? I guess I'll go back to the question.
Maybe. How old is LeBron now? 33, 34?
34 or 5, I think.
Wow, really?
Around there. I don't remember exactly.
Because, I mean, he's not.
Maybe he was going to be 35 at the end of his contract, so now he might be 36 or 37 with the extension. Okay. I don't know. Around there.
Because I don't feel like he's going to pull a Vince Carter and just play until you can't get 12 minutes anymore on a certain team. I don't think he'll ever do that. If he's not a starter, LeBron's not playing in the league. Until that time comes, I think he'll be in the league, whether it's 37 or 43. I don't know. Sports have come a long, long way. You don't have the guys smoking cigarettes and drinking beers during halftime anymore. And all the sports science, you have guys spending millions of dollars a year on their bodies. So it's possible. I mean, you've seen LeBron's career always. He's always putting in work, always doing the extra effort. But when guys are just sitting there getting prepared for the game, he's doing that weird stability thing on the balance ball and throwing a medicine ball and just always working, always grinding, always keeping his body in tip-top shape. So I could see it happening, but I don't. Are the Lakers going to be like, are they going to be able to get LeBron? Or because if it's me,
Little Bron?
if they're going to be able to get Bronny. Because if it's me, and let's say the Cavs still suck ass, so we'll be up there somewhere.
You guys will suck ass still.
Yeah, and we're in the lottery picks, and we ended up getting the 4th slot again because fuck the Cavs nowadays, and we can never get a number 1 draft pick anymore. So we get like 4 or 5, and Bronny's a projected 2nd round. Fuck you. 4th pick in the draft, we're getting Bronny James. He's coming to Cleveland, unless the old Lakers want to give up 8,000 first-round draft picks, or LeBron, you can come back to the land and win a ring with your boy. That would be my take on it. Because if that's his mindset,
right?
If he is saying, yeah, I'm just looking to the future with my boy to where I can retire and maybe be on a coaching staff and something like that, tell him out, or stop and start his own agency, or it could be anything really. But if it comes down to that, I don't think LeBron's going to leave the Lakers. I don't see it happening.
This is going to sound cynical because I'm an anti-LeBron guy, but this could legitimately be the case. He may, because we both agree, if you guys are listening to this podcast right now, just coming out of high school, you can't go into the NBA anyway. But me and Sil are both in agreement that is going to switch before 2 years from now. Yeah. So assuming he can get drafted, I think that LeBron, because LeBron is smart, he knows what the F he's doing. I think he did his contract. He doesn't give a shit about what Bronny does, but he knows that Bronny is not set to be drafted at this point. And he knows if he's an available free agent, that raises Bronny's draft stock. And that's what he wants. He wants his boy to get drafted as high as he can. And that's why he did the 2-year contract to say, I'm a free agent who wants to draft Bronny. I might come or I might not. And I think that's why he did it. He wants his boy to get drafted high. That's why he did it.
Smart.
It is smart. He's a smart guy.
That's a smart business ploy right there.
I think he'll do. And then he might still go play with him. Like, why not? But I think he just wants him to get the most money he can, get drafted as high as you can. Not that they need money at all, but so knock on wood, I do want to ask you a question. And
you're with me?
We hate LeBron here on this podcast, but we don't want to wish him ill. But I do want to ask you this question. Do you think Father Time hits LeBron James like it hits Vince Carter? Or do you think it hits him like it hits Kobe Bryant and he's just done when he shatters to Achilles and is like, I got to be out? Or do you think he can fade into the sunset the way that Vince Carter did?
I think he'll be able to do even better than Vince Carter did. I mean, you don't see it in the NBA really, besides with Kobe. And even then at that point in time, if he wasn't on the Lakers, he's probably not a 38-minute-a-game starter.
Yeah, for sure.
LeBron will be a 38-minute-a-game starter until he retires. That's what I feel like is going to happen. Nobody's done that since the old days when guys would get 6-7 rings in 10 years and just retire at the age of 32 and take off with their $260,000 earnings over their career.
That's so good. Yeah,
but right. That doesn't happen nowadays. You see these guys, even when they get bounced out of the league, we see them end up over in China and stuff like that, scrapping until they're 35, 36. Who was the guy that went over to China and just became the guy?
Michael Beasley?
No. He got the rings and shit.
I don't know.
Damn it, man.
Michael Beasley went to China and was the guy. He was like the MVP for 3 straight years, but that's must not be who you're talking about.
No, that's not who I'm thinking of. He was like the MVP.
Michael Beasley was the MVP, and then he came back to play in the NBA again.
I don't think it was.
You mean
Michael
like
Beasley.
A retired type guy?
Was it AI? Was AI the one that was in China doing this damn thing?
I don't remember.
I think it was.
All I remember is Michael Beasley went off and won the MVP a couple times and came back to the NBA.
Wow. But yeah, anyways, like I said, there's nobody that's going to do what LeBron is going to do and probably win another 2 or 3 rings and be able to retire. I mean, Michael, I guess. Michael didn't have to retire when he did the 8th time. It's different though, because came back. He still came back to Washington, which he should have never done.
Well, the situation with coming back to Washington wasn't about playing or anything like that. He was just kind of screwing around with the team that he owned. But no, I agree with you. He shouldn't have come back. But I hope that LeBron, hey, I'm going to say this. You guys can clip it if you want and call me a LeBron lover. I hope that LeBron doesn't shatter both Achilles and kind of have to go out on a revenge tour or a celebratory I'm retiring tour because he literally can barely walk just like Kobe did. I hope he doesn't have that. I hope he gets to go through. But the only thing he has going for him for this GOAT argument is longevity. And all indications are, especially if he's playing with AD for the rest of his career, all indications are he can just shift his position to being a point guard that's passing and go 10 more years. Who knows, man? It's crazy. But I hope Father Time comes at him faster than that. I just don't want him to get like seriously injured. But I hope he Jason Kidd's his route out of there to where he just 1 year he's the triple-double king, and then the next year he like averages 5 points a game like Jason Kidd did. That's what I hope for LeBron. Shout out to Jason Kidd. Sorry, buddy.
That would be good. That would be great. That'd be fantastic. But it's not gonna fucking happen, dude.
Yeah, it's not. All right. So before we shift over to football, let's take a break and let's talk about our sponsor, Manscaped. The time it's getting colder, man. I'm wearing my fancy warm-up pants. It's getting colder. We talked about it. Cold means warmer clothes. Warmer clothes means more sweat. So to avoid that sweat, you have to shave. And Manscaped is here to help you get that done. They have the best stuff for your junk, and they're here to partner with us. So we're happy about it.
Yeah, and they really do have the best thing to shave with. The Lawnmower 3.0 is fucking amazing. Can't say anything else about it that we haven't already said. It's waterproof. I dropped it the other day, dude, and it's still
in
going.
The water, or
No.
Just dropped it?
No, I dropped it when I was going to get in the shower. It hit the tub and then fell and hit the floor. But nothing.
Nice.
Not even the clip, like the safeguard.
Yeah.
I don't really take that one off that much at all. I don't
either.
I don't need to insinuate any lines or anything. So
you don't want to put a lightning bolt in there or something?
No. So I just keep that little guard on it all the time. That shit didn't even pop off.
Wow.
So yes, this thing is absolutely amazing. It probably will break if you throw it, but it's waterproof. It didn't break when I dropped it.
Nice.
It's awesome. And it comes with a fancy leather bag that is fireproof. So it's real leather.
I know we need to pull back out the fireproof. Maybe next week we'll show you guys that it's fireproof once again. But it does. It comes with all those things. It also comes with the crop preserver, which I have been using a lot more lately. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, we're back in full lockdown in LA, but we were out for a little bit and I was able to go outside and I was using the crop preserver. I was using the crop reviver, the spray and the cream. Those two things together, they go so well. They make you feel good. Listen, I know that you're doing this stuff for your significant other, but I'm a single guy, so I don't have a significant other. It feels good on you. It feels good just for your own personal business. You're out there. You feel a little bit more confident because you know that you're not chafing down there. You don't feel weird. You don't feel like you're walking funny and trying to like pull stuff. You feel good. And it's a confidence boost. I'll tell you that. And I know that Seal can attest to having a girl that helps too.
Oh yeah, for sure. 1,000%. I can only imagine though, if I didn't have baby girl and like leaving work and meeting a girl or something and her inviting me over to her house. Fuck no, I would want to come to my house so I could rub some of my shit on so I can freshen up, which is why they like us to go to their house. So the tides would be turned because I like to be fresh and I love that I have a shit ton of stuff that helps me stay fresh.
And that's why you bring the wipes. I make sure I do that just in case they force you to go to their place first. You go, can I use the bathroom real quick? And you know the wipes line. You just shove a little bit of that shit down there and just you get at it. But yeah, so it comes with all that stuff except the wipes. The perfect package doesn't come with the wipes. You have to do those separately. But you can get all that stuff plus that leather bag plus some boxer shorts, boxer brief things that are really cool. And you can get all that with 20% off and free shipping if you head over to manscaped.com and use our code NOSCRUBS, all one word, at checkout. You will get all that stuff. You get that Lawnmower 3.0, you get the preserver, you get the reviver, you get the boxers that Seal's about to show you probably.
No, I'm about to explain something. So I wear Tommy Hilfiger. I don't know if you can see it, boxers,
I can,
right?
Yeah.
So I stopped wearing the Manscaped boxers just all the time. Those are now my they're my high class. Like, you know how I have a couple of hats that I only wear out. Everyone, those are now the Manscaped boxers. I don't want. They're still fine. They're perfect. I just don't ever want to see the day.
Don't want them to get ruined.
Yeah. So they are now my high class boxers. I wear those only on special occasions.
I wear a different type of boxer that doesn't have a label, but I don't want to give them a shout out because they don't sponsor us. Tommy Hilfiger, they're a real store. They don't matter. But the ones that I wear are a podcast sponsor and they don't sponsor us. So I'm not about to.
Fuck them.
I used a discount code from different podcasts to get these boxers, and they are my shitty ones. I saved the Manscaped for later, just like you do. But yeah, head over to manscaped.com, use the code NOSCRUBS, all one word, at checkout, and you will get 20% off and free shipping and a leather bag and those boxer briefs. And if you get the perfect package, you get everything you need. So it's the best stuff for your junk. Your partner, your balls, and your body will thank you. Manscaped.com, sponsoring us since day one. Not really, but all right. So let's talk about football.
Since the reboot.
Since day one of the reboot, I think. Yeah, pretty much. Since COVID, they have been sponsoring us. They shout out to them. This isn't even part of the thing, but shout out to them. They reached out during COVID and said, we'll be willing to give you some stuff if you want.
And also, like, usually you can say a year ago today, we didn't know about January 1st. Had no, I mean, that is pretty much a fucking year ago. But yeah, you had no idea who Manscaped was. I'm sure they've been around. So shout out to their marketing team for going fucking
Have berserk. You seen those commercials? Those
bro, they're
funny,
everywhere.
Bro.
It's hilarious. They're everywhere. They're on the UCF mats. They're on boxing mats. They're on fucking exhibition matches.
Dishes.
Like, Manscaped is fucking everywhere, and we're here to bring it to you as well. So when you do go on manscaped.com, if you don't do it right now, if you watch a commercial, you're like, shit, No Scrubs talks about it. Use No Scrubs and help a man out.
No Scrubs. Help us out. Help yourself out. It's the best thing ever. And this isn't even part of the preview. If I send this to the dude, us. We stopped that a long time ago. But anyways, let's shift to the NFL.
Probably not even sponsored anymore. The code's still active.
Yeah, the code is active. That means we're sponsored. If I reach out, I can get us some more free stuff, but we don't need shit right now. Like, wait till we need some more stuff and let's ask for some more stuff. But
you're right.
But they're still doing their thing, and our code is active, so we're appreciative of them anyway. But anyways, the NFL. Let's go to the NFL. Let's start off with what we ended off the intro saying: the 1972 Dolphins are still the only undefeated team. And oh, look at Seal getting some hits.
Siri thinks that cheers.
Siri wanted to cheers with us. So they not only did they lose, they lost to an NFC least team, and they lost to my pick. I said it last weekend. We had a 3-way tie for first, and I said, or 2.5-way tie if you count the Eagles, for first. And I said that I thought the Washington professional football team, or whatever the hell they decided to call themselves, was the best team in that division. Now, the Giants had something else to say, and we'll talk about that right after this, but the Washington professional football team came out with defense, and they looked like potentially the best team in the NFC East. Am I wrong?
Not at all. Got my Champ Bailey jersey on.
I see that.
Yeah. Not at all, man. I mean, it's crazy to think, what are we, in the fucking 80s? That the Redskins and the Giants are going to be fighting to see who can come up with 7 wins to finish this thing out and take it home. But dude, they look good. Like, that defense, like you were saying,
is locked in.
It's fucking sick. I can't think of the Ohio State kid. Chase Young, beast, dude. A fucking monster.
Sweat on the other side, just batting down everything. I think he had 4 tipped passes tonight. Just unstoppable.
That dude is a monster. He's huge.
It's crazy. And Big Ben, I mean, Big Ben he's an older guy, just like Brady and Breeze and all those guys. But he is consistently doesn't get sacked, doesn't get pressured very easily. He's a big dude. He does his thing. And Washington was able to get to him, held him to 17 points. And I texted Eddie when Washington, they don't have the greatest coach in the world. They just won, so I don't want to be too rude to him. But his time management was rough. And they decided to play for the field goal and also give the Steelers 1 timeout plus a 2-minute warning to try to make that last drive.
You talking shit about Ron Rivera?
Yeah, I am. And hey, he just ran the ball. You don't want to go for a field goal against the undefeated Steelers on the road, but they did. And Ben got the ball back with 2:04 left. He got a whole 1 play in, and that shit was picked off, and it was game over. So, I mean, I guess Ron Rivera knew what he's doing because he is a defensive coach. He trusts his defense, and I guess he said, "Fuck it. As long as we get the lead, we're gonna win. I don't care." But the time management was a little off. But either way, they got the win.
And for that defense, they had to get fucking jacked when they saw that kicker coming out. Be like, yeah, you fucking believe. Like, we are not gonna let our coach down. Like, he believes in us. We have to go out there and fucking shut it down.
And the first play they did that shit.
Bam. So, I mean, yeah, he's a hell of a coach. Don't ever say that again.
Whatever. Fuck the Panthers. I know he's not the Panthers coach anymore.
That's fine. Fuck the Panthers. That's who cares?
I grew up not liking Ron Rivera. I don't know what to do. I started out bad. We had a bad thing, but anyway. So let's talk about the NFC East now. So the NFC East, we have joked about them. We've talked shit about them. They are the worst league that we've seen since that 7-9 Seattle team that ended up upsetting Green Bay. Well, the Giants just won tonight or Sunday. Big over Seattle. Big. It wasn't even close. Colt McCoy looked amazing. And then the Washington professional football team decided to upset the undefeated Steelers. Is this a blip on the radar, or could these guys legitimately like scare the Seattle Seahawks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Los Angeles Rams, those guys that could be facing them in the playoffs?
I don't think it's a blip, dude. These teams have been up in the draft slot for the last couple of years. And the Giants have been going O-line. So they're able to protect them. They're able to run the ball. They don't have their big names out there anymore.
Right.
But the players that are going out there are getting it done. Holy shit. I hope you can't hear that static. But it was crazy. It was great. The game plan that what's his name up there in New York? Head coach.
I don't know.
He came from the Vikings.
I don't give a shit. I don't know.
No. He came from they don't even have that coach anymore. It's a new guy.
They have Jason Garrett as their offensive coordinator.
It's a fresh face in there now. I forget his name.
Cool.
So fuck what I said. But
able to have forever away from them.
Able to have these guys prepared. I mean, you have the Ravens who have a whole bunch of backups come in and get blown out and shit and just look silly out there. And then for them to be able to come out and do what they did against the Seahawks, it shows a lot to the coaching staff. And it shows a lot to Colt. He was the guy at Texas. Hasn't had anybody really. Sam Ehlinger is trying his best over there in Texas, but it's not happening. Hasn't really happened for anybody since Colt was there.
Sure.
And he's still able to, in a league where if you're not over 6'3", you're probably not going to make it as a quarterback. He's made it as a backup for about 8 years now.
It's so weird because Colt has gotten the shaft. He's been on the worst teams in the NFL. He has no chance to do anything well.
Didn't he get drafted by the Jets? So
I think he was on the Jets for like a little bit, but then he was on the Redskins for a majority of his career and just was never the guy. And that's all I remember the Redskins and just him not. And every time he would go in, he would do well. It's like Ryan Fitzpatrick almost. Like he does well when he goes in, but never gets to be the guy. And because they have Daniel Jones now and like all this other stuff. So
yeah. And they have a great defense too. You can't forget about their defense. They have I think their linebacker. Why am I getting blurry again? Their linebacking core is about the best thing on that team. And it's getting fun to watch, especially that Seattle game. It was boring a little bit, but if you like old school football, that game was fucking fun. It was a lot better than that Washington game tonight where they threw 1,000 fucking passes.
You mean the Bills and the 49ers game? But
no.
You're talking about Washington? They threw Alex Smith did his thing.
And, yeah, he had 46 passes.
Oh, yeah, they have to get a run game. And Big Ben has to get a run game.
Oh, yeah, they're fucked without Connor.
Yeah. Washington, looks good in spurts, but when he's the guy, It is not.
Can you imagine if they still had AP? If they still had AP, they probably could have been able to get 10, 11 wins this season. For sure.
Maybe.
But I mean,
hey, AP went and got some scores over in his game.
Yeah.
They got their win.
Yeah, fuck Matt Patricia.
Hey, that's what they were saying, I guess, man. But hey, it worked out. They looked really good. We're not going to talk about your game. Your game was you guys going for a draft pick is really all it was.
Yeah, I feel like we saw that the Jets were doing their thing, so we were like, all right, yeah, let's stop.
We should stop trying.
Yeah, and then we saw them just fucking wide ass open Henry Ruggs right in the bread basket, touchdown. We were like, hey, we can get a tie. Let's go to overtime. Let's finally get a fucking overtime. And we threw an interception. Little skyscraper Mike Glennon didn't see it coming. And we're going with Mike Glennon again now. This is going to be the second week with a healthy Gardner Minshew that we're going with Mike Glennon. And coach came out today. There was a big thing. Gardner came out saying that he pretty much begged to be able to go out there before the Browns game. And went this past weekend against the Vikings with Mike Glennon again. Yeah. And he's been named as the starter against Tennessee this coming up weekend again. So, yeah, it's all draft picks. Somebody who throws 2 interceptions, 1 in overtime, and you don't let him come back out there when you know Gardner. He could have thrown the interception. There's no reason to say he probably wouldn't have thrown the interception. But also, he probably would have gave up his life to try to get a first down.
True. Well, let's talk about those 2 teams instead that you just mentioned. The Browns and Baker Mayfield and the Titans, who you guys play next week. The Browns played the best game of their lives. They still ended up only winning by like a touchdown, but their offense was the best I have seen them in possibly ever. I think Derek Anderson was the last time I saw the Browns team put up an offense like this. Are they a threat? They were the worst 8-win team in the league. Now, after this year, they're not the worst this week. They're not the worst statistical 9-win team in the league, but are they a real threat? Are you scared of them if you're in the AFC?
No.
Maybe
in the AFC a little bit because what defense are you really scared of when you're the Browns? I mean, you're able to put up, the Titans were able to still almost come back and they put up 35? So I'm not too scared of their defense. That's my thing. If I have a defense like, what was it? Was it the Bucks? I think it was the Bucks. So. Brad Johnson came out and said, if I get 15 points in a game, we're going to win.
Oh yeah, that was Brad. That was the Bucks for sure.
Yeah. So
we don't have that defense in the NFL right now.
Not right now, but there's a couple of defense that are pretty fucking close to it. The Steelers aren't it.
Nope.
But there's a couple of teams, the Broncos, they have a great fucking defense. But
sadly they can't do shit.
Yeah. They just can't score. But if I'm one of those teams, even the Titans, when they show up in the playoffs, I'm not too concerned about the Browns because if my defense shows up and is able to cover them, and I'll be fine. Browns defense is ass outside of their line.
Well, then who are you concerned about in the AFC? The Steelers just lost. The Ravens have been reeling. The Chiefs almost lost to the Broncos. The Browns now are
Broncos
defense,
losing. Dude.
What about the Patriots who just beat the Chargers 45-0? And they've won 4 straight games. And they have Bill Belichick. You ain't worried?
No, they don't have Tom Brady. I'm not fucking worried.
You ain't worried?
Whatsoever.
They just turned this entire season around, and they look good right now. Cam is getting into it. That defense is looking Bill Belichickian. I don't want to talk about the Patriots, but what if it is a Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Buccaneers? I'm pulling for it. I'm pulling for it.
The Dolphins are going to beat them in the wild card and shut them the fuck up.
That could happen.
The Dolphins defense, they got everybody out of trades, just getting rid of people other locker rooms didn't want and all this shit. Their defense is fucking on fire. Their offense just can't.
And Tua
to get it going.
Tua has only played shitty teams. And they talk about he's got another almost 300 yards this last week. So they talk about how good he is. But he has only played shitty teams. And they benched him against the one a good team they played because his thumb was hurt. Now he's back against another shitty team, got another win. So he's like,
I wouldn't even say the Bengals
starters.
are a shitty team either, because they have not a great defense, but they have a respectable defense.
I guess.
A little bit. But yeah, no, Joe Burrow was laying it up, man.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow's not there. I don't even know who their starter is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the Dolphins were able to keep who does? Let's see.
I have no clue who their starter.
Oh wow, there was a couple people that ended up playing.
Oh really?
Brandon Allen.
Who?
Brandon Allen.
Who's that?
Fuck if I know, but his name's Brandon Allen.
Cool.
And then Ryan Finley. I know
I've
that
heard
name.
of him. Yeah, I've heard of him.
He came in and played a little bit, I guess, at the end.
Cool.
But yeah, no, I'm more scared of this is gonna suck to fucking say. 2020 is crazy, man. I'm more scared of the Dolphins in the playoffs than I am the Browns in the playoffs. Those teams don't ever fucking make the playoffs.
So the Chiefs, though, are still the team we're scared of.
Yes, absolutely.
Even though the Broncos, for the second time this year, made them look very much vulnerable.
All right, well, yeah, but how did the Chiefs end up sealing that win on defense?
They should have sealed the win when that Tyreek Hill catch that was like a half a catch. Did you see the replay of that thing?
Off. Tyreek went the fuck off, dude.
Tyreek did not even know he caught it. That's how amazing it was. If you guys did not watch it, go look up the Tyreek Hill touchdown that got called incomplete. Nothing against the refs or anybody. I'm not blaming a single person. That play was just nuts. And the ball ended up landing just in his arms somehow. They called it incomplete. Andy Reid went over to ask him if he should challenge it. And Tyreek was like, I don't know. I don't know if I caught it. So they didn't challenge it. It ended up that he caught it. That's how crazy of a catch it was, is Tyreek did not even know he caught that ball. But yeah, I mean, they secured it on defense, but it was defense against Drew Lock. Like, what do you want here?
Hey, he was supposed to be their franchise guy. John Elway loved him. Loved the guy out of Mizzou. Let's get that.
John Elway loved Peyton Manning too, but I guess they won a Super Bowl, so.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and that's the only reason. Like, I don't know what's up with that offense this year, what's going on, but it's only Tyreek. You got flashes of Kelsey, Kareem.
Kelsey had like 120 yards and a touchdown though.
But fuck, what's Edwards-Helaire and DJ? No, who was the other guy that? Williams, Damian
D'Angelo,
something. D Williams. He they're not showing up. It's literally Mahomes trying
Carlos
to.
Hyde is still on their team, isn't he?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
But Mahomes is just Mahomes in it, and hoping the defense is able to get stops. That offense is going to have to figure it out. But we all know that offense just pretty much shows up when they fucking want to, and is able to get 3 touchdowns and 3 drives and end the game out of nowhere. So I'm fucking scared. That defense has been scary the last couple weeks, and even in their losses, it's not blowout losses really. So that's the team that I'm scared of. And it's crazy. 5 weeks ago, I was sitting here saying that the AFC was probably better than the NFC, and the tide has shifted. I mean, Russ isn't doing Russ.
Well, then who's the NFC team? It's just the Packers. Who else are we scared of?
The Packers.
The Packers is it. I mean, but if you are the Packers, who are you scared of in the NFC?
The Saints, the Bucks. No, you're scared of dude. It's that fucking Saints talking about defense. You want to talk about a defense? This Saints defense could go down as arguably one of the dude. That defense is fucking stacked. Yeah, you're not gonna like. Yeah,
they're
let's
okay.
talk about Ron Rivera
Matt
some more
Ryan
too.
scored like 30 points on them. Like, what are you talking about? No, he scored 16, but still, he almost brought the Falcons back to beat the Saints. And talking about the Saints defense, get out of here.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you're probably upset a little bit, but I named 2 of your I'm staying in that division. You got to be proud of that a little bit. But yeah, there's not too.
If I'm the Pack, I'm beating the Packers right now. I'm not scared of the NFC East. I'm not, or the South, whatever team we're playing. I'm not scared of the East either, I guess. But I'm not scared of the South. I'm not scared of anyone else in the North.
We're not scared of Arizona anymore. We were scared of Arizona for a couple.
The Rams, maybe. The Rams, maybe. But
no,
I'm not.
You can't be scared of the Rams anymore either.
If you have Taysom Hill starting, you might. Because Jalen Ramsey is shutting down your guy. He's proven it. He's proven it again. He's shutting down your guy. And you told me that. I'm not a Jalen Ramsey fan.
I'm not either.
And
I know.
the Jags never got on TV, so I like to talk a lot of shit about Jalen Ramsey. And when he came over to LA, I was talking shit about him still, and you said no, he's gonna shut down their best guy.
Yeah.
And now I get to see him a lot more on TV, and yeah, he shuts down their best guy. That's for sure.
He's DK on defense, like legit. He's like 6'3", I think 6'3", 2
He's
something.
He's a big cornerback for sure.
2 something, and he can run with Tyreek. Like, it's fucking insane. It's absolutely insane. But he's a bitch.
Yeah, I always talk shit about him because he just talks too much crap. But
dude, yeah. But
he locks down.
When you watch him, you just see his mouthpiece dangling because that's on the field, dude. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, he's jabbing, bro. All right, so shout outs. Leave KZ for the end here, but shout outs. Any shout outs that we have?
I did. Yeah, I already covered them. Shout out Colt McCoy. He fucking killed it.
Absolutely.
Alex Smith. Fucking shout out Alex Smith. That could show you can really do anything that you're. I mean, I love how a lot of rich and famous people talk about hard work. All it takes is hard work. Yeah, you got lucky too. But when you're in the Alex Smith could have easily took his injury and fell off and just said fuck it. But no, that's when hard work pays off.
Yeah,
shit like
he could have been an announcer with no problem, or like a analyst on Monday Night Football, whatever, no problem. And a guy who, I mean, that's just amazing. And none of us, we talked a lot of shit about Alex Smith, although notably so, we're digging our own hole here. But when Patrick Mahomes is drafted, me, Eddie, and Seal all said, dude, they have Alex Smith. Mahomes isn't going to be better than Alex Smith. So we all said that. So at least we had that. But another guy that went through the exact same thing that Alex Smith went through and is going to try to do that again next year, but just not in black and gold. Mackenzie Milton, shout out to this man. He had basically the same injury as Alex Smith. His knee got just completely obliterated. He had to do surgery just to save his leg. And then a few months later, his leg got infected. He had to do more emergency surgery just to save his leg. And now this man wants to play football again. He has entered the transfer portal, so he will not be playing at UCF next year. There's a lot of speculation about where he's going. He might go to Nebraska to play with Scott Frost. They have actually said pretty much everywhere on the list except for USF, I think, is probably available. I don't think that he will go to USF. There are some posts on like Facebook and stuff saying like USF is a front runner. That's not happening. Get out of here. But he posted on Instagram and he said it with his whole transfer portal. But he said, no matter what, I bleed black and gold. He flew home to Hawaii for the holidays. He was wearing his UCF mask. He does bleed black and gold, and we bleed for him. And I just want to let him know, I know he doesn't listen to this, but if we tweet at him, he might. He's a really good dude. But whatever he does, I hope personally, and I know the stupid I called him stupid, but the UCF Facebook group doesn't want him to go to Nebraska. I want him to go to Nebraska. If he can get to Nebraska, if he can play with his boy Scott Frost, the guy that recruited him, if he could play in the Power 5, I would love a Power 5 team to start him. I don't know that there's a Power 5 team that truly wants him. Honestly, just to be brutally honest, I'm not sure the Power 5 team wants him as a starter. They might be like, yeah, we'll take you, but you have to compete. And I don't know that he wants to like be in a true competition. I think he wants to start, because if he wanted to be in a true competition, he could do it at UCF. So that's not what he wants to do. I think he wants to go. He wants to start. He wants to just prove he can play the same way that Alex Smith is doing. But shout out to that man. We love him. Eddie calls him the UCF GOAT. I'm not sure if he is. I would have to do a lot more research than that. I mean, obviously he won more than Dante Culpepper, but Dante Culpepper was the man.
See, that's the thing. I wouldn't look at, when I look at KZ, I look at the program before and the program after. You can't do that with Dante. That's why
they did that with Dante. I mean, it was just a different world. But the program before Dante and the program after Dante was so vastly different. The same way that it is with
the exact same way. Back whenever you were there going to school,
I was not there with Dante. What are you talking about?
No, but I'm saying, but back when you were there going to school and I was there hanging around the school, we kind of felt kind of felt like that was coming then with Godfrey and even
Bortles.
before that, Calabrese, and then just him able to get
not
wins.
with Calabrese,
but he was getting those gritty wins. But he was getting those gritty wins. He was able to go and beat USF, and we saw, okay, shit, we can hang in there. We can win this Conference USA bullshit ass league. We can do this. 2010, get it done, and then just keep going.
Beat Georgia in the Liberty Bowl.
Yeah, Blake
Amazing
Bortles.
stuff.
Then we come and we're able to get more stuff. You beat Baylor in a bowl game, and then something that hasn't been done. Finish a whole season without a loss. That brings in another great Hawaiian quarterback in DG, which keeps the program going, keeps the process going. I mean, DG isn't KZ in my eyes. He's great.
No, he's not
setting records and all that shit, but
he's gonna have better numbers than KZ.
Yeah,
when he.
But he's not that winner that KZ was, and I don't feel like we've had that. Yeah, Blake was a winner. Dante was a winner, but just that Braveheart kind of just sell your soul to get that dub. That's KZ, and I thank him for everything that he brought to the program. I thank him for every minute that he played, every snap, and even more, I thank him for what he's done since his injury. To be in that quarterback room, to be an extra coach. And I know this was a hard decision for him. I know you watched the video that UCF put out, and that when it started and he's sitting down, like, he was holding it back, man. So this is hard for him. So mad respect to him to be able to make the decision and stick it out. And knowing how hard that is, it's something that I probably wouldn't be able to do. I would sit here one more year and be DG's backup and coast it, probably, just because I don't think I'd have the conads to be able to tough that out and make that decision and move.
Well, something that is a testament to him. It's going to sound like it's a shout out to his teammates, but it's really a testament to him. I can guarantee you, I can literally stand here right now and guarantee you that all 55, well, it's not 55 or in the college, however many players are on that team in college, all told him, we love you, we support you, we don't give a shit where you go, we're not going to speak bad about you ever. And a lot of that is because of Mackenzie Milton and these guys. He knows that he's not going to compete for a starting position. Truly, he has Dylan Gabriel there. We have a backup that's ready to go as soon as Dylan Gabriel benches already. So like, KZ didn't want to have to deal with that. Plus, he wants to transition into coaching. Well, he wants to play. He says he has aspirations in the NFL. I don't want to be rude because we're shouting him out, but I think his aspirations should be in coaching. I think that's where he's going to end up, and no bad thing to that. He's going to be a great coach, I believe, but he wants to play. And why not play? Why not go where you can play? And I guarantee you that 75? How many players on a college team? 125? I don't even know.
No, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around that 100 mark.
Every single one of them, I bet, told him, we got your back. We'll never say anything about you, buddy. Like, you did everything you could. He's already going to play now a 6th year, wherever it is he goes. He has so much eligibility because of COVID and then because of injuries and because of everything. So I'm happy for him. I'm not going to have the GOAT conversation because it's a KZ shout out. And I don't know that I would lean towards him as the GOAT, but he's one of them. He's somebody that we'll always remember. And if we have a Mount Rushmore, he's one of the first names on it. Without a doubt.
And I feel like that's across all athletics at UCF.
Just a UCF person. Yeah.
He's one of the, absolutely. And I also feel like the testament to him, he could end up at USF. And if they won, the fucking Cows end up winning next year, and it's KZ that led them, there would be nothing but smiles on the players that played with him.
I don't know about nothing, but there would be.
No, they'd be happy for him.
It would be tough. Well, for the fans, it would be tough. The players.
The fans, the fans are probably going to be pissed off, and they'd be very pissed off to see all of them going up and hugging him and congratulating him on just beating their ass. For sure. Absolutely. 1,000%. And it's going to be at home too. Yeah, they'd be pissed. But I could just see that's just the guy he is. And he's given his heart. Even in injury, he came back and he was he was the scout quarterback. And that's all grit. That's all hard work. That's all getting it done. And he's a hell of a fucking dude, and I wish him nothing but the best.
Absolutely. Shout out to him. Just before we leave, I did want to say, because we're recording this, and I want to say the rumors for him currently are, of course, Nebraska. And then FSU is a rumor that's come up. And this would legitimately be the only year that I will ever think that I don't want you or FSU to go 0-12.
They could use a quarterback.
They really could. That's why
Tennessee.
That's why they are a rumor.
Tennessee could use a quarterback after this game I saw this weekend.
Rumored just because Tennessee has no bearing. But FSU is rumored. If he goes to FSU, I will say this now, dig it in on the pod. This will be the only year I don't want FSU to go 0-12. I'm not going to sit here and say I want FSU to win, but they don't have to go 0-12.
Yeah, fuck that. If there's any way that they could go 0-12, but he still be fifth in the Heisman voting, I'm down. Right? I'm down.
Absolutely. But shout out to Mackenzie Milton, man. We love you. Mahalo, Melakaliki Maka. I don't know if you understand Hawaiian, but we learned it here at UCF. That's Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you, Mackenzie, and your family. We love you all, and we know that you'll be in our lives forever. So be like Mackenzie Milton. Be like Alex Smith. Just keep fighting. Whatever the fuck happens, just keep fighting. And as always, be a stud, not a scrub.